Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, bloop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, and happy Wednesday. I hope everybody is having a wonderful week and had a great day today. Listen, today did a little bit of a 360 from yesterday. So yesterday sucked ass. Today did not. So there we go. I mean, the morning did. Because I had a little bit of a meltdown because I thought I lost my phone, and that stopped me from logging on to work in a timely manner. So, but it rebounded and everything was great. Okay, so last night I watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, made my notes, watched Roni's reunion part 1, and made some notes. Finished it today. So we're going to be talking about Beverly Hills right now. Either tomorrow or Friday, I'll probably be covering Roni tomorrow. And then Friday, I'll be talking about Salt Lake City. Okay, so let's get into Beverly Hills. To start it off, Kyle FaceTimed Erica. She's like, listen, there's just too many people up in this text, up in here and up in here. Like, all the years that I've been on this show, this is actually the worst that I've felt. That's what Kyle says. Kyle says she's never felt more stressed or worse. And listen, I agree. I can't believe I'm saying this because I never thought I would say that I agree with Erica, but I agree with Erica that this really has to be between Dorit and Kyle. I mean, what is in question is the text between Kyle and Dorit, Kyle and PK. So it should be just between Kyle and Dorit. Kyle says, I'm going to talk to Dorit and I'm going to try and hash this out. I would like to move on from this. If she would like to, that's great. But if she doesn't, then, oh, well, I will just move on. Like I said, Erica's not wrong about letting this just be between the two of them. That's who it should be between. Bose and Dorit meet for lunch. Dorit says, all of this is really stressing her out. And Bose brought up a good point. Bose is like, a question. You had said that Kyle was the first person that you told about like marriage problems. But then Kyle says, oh, well, this is the first time that I've ever heard of this. I've heard of problems in your marriage, in Dorit's marriage. The flashback, then they do the flashback years ago when it was Dorit and Kyle, and they were talking about it. And Kyle clearly had mentioned they were having some problems, and she's like, I'm wondering if we are going to make it. I don't know if we're going to make it or not. So Bose is like, it's obvious now. I mean, she lied about that, saying that this was the first time that she's heard about problems in Dorit's marriage, but she's obviously now probably lying about this text. And if she's lying about this text, then she is possibly lying about the depth of her friendship with PK. I mean, that makes sense. And also Dorit shared the fact that when the idea was floated about like them taking time apart, PK and Dorit, there were 3 people in that conversation. It was Dorit, it was PK, and it was PK's sponsor. Who do you think brought up separation? If you answered PK or Dorit, you're wrong. It was PK's sponsor who was like, maybe you guys should spend some time apart. Oh, okay. I mean, And listen, I agree with her. She's like, I spent all of this time defending PK when he was doing all these things that on the surface didn't seem right. I defended him to my family, to my parents, and now this is what I get. This is how I get paid back. Yeah, I agree with you. So FaceTiming continues. This time it's between Garcelle and Sutton. Garcelle is having all the ladies out to her beach house for like a housewarming party. So she thought it was kind of the next day. So she thought it was kind of odd that she got just like this random invite from Kyle to do dinner or to do lunch. So it's Kyle, and she invited Sutton, Garcelle, and Erica. So they're wondering, is Kyle just like trying to rally the troops to her side before they go over to Garcelle's? But from the looks of the preview, it doesn't look like that. It looked like she was laying into Garcelle, but we'll find out. So they do lunch. They do lunch at this restaurant called Arden. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it looked beautiful. They had all of these like beautiful flowers, and it was outdoors. It looked beautiful. So Garcelle is the first to arrive, and Kyle opens up about what happened at Bose's house at the Serenity Soiree, the Sisterhood Serenity Soiree. And Kyle felt like it was kind of a betrayal for her to tell Bose about Kyle reading the text and what the text said. And she said, when Garcelle says, when you read the text, Kyle, it sounds like you shared more than memes, which it did. And then Kyle says, Kyle had said, I don't remember if she had said this. She said this, I think, in confessional. And she said something like, I've known PK for so long, we've been friends for so long, of course we shared more than memes. And Kyle says, we've shared more than memes, we've shared text messages. Garcelle then asks, are you maybe getting so worked up about this because your character is in question? And that's when Kyle's like, yes, I'm upset about this because my character is in question. I don't lie. I've never lied. And I don't like my character being called into question like this. Then Sutton gets right to the point, and she's like, why are we here? Why are we here? Name them. Name the reasons why. Why are we here? Well, Kyle said she wants to apologize. I want to apologize for how I acted. But I stand by what I said. She says she acted the way that she did, like she was crying and she ran out because she felt like she was being ganged up on. Like nobody was on her side. No one was standing up for her. I mean, Erica was. Sutton asks the question, why do you need to apologize? What are you apologizing for? What are you apologizing for? The whole name 'em thing again, but without name 'em. And she says, well, I felt bad. I just felt bad for how I acted. I shouldn't have acted that way. What Sutton wants her to apologize for there being like a double standard that like, I apologize that I would hold your feet to the fire if you did that, but I can't. But I can do it and it's acceptable. And Sutton wants her just to be accountable for how she acted, which she is being accountable for how she acted in my opinion. I mean, I'm not a fan of Kyle's this year, but I felt she was being accountable for that. But Sutton just kept on and on and on. At this point, I just thought, just leave it, Kyle, or just leave it, Sutton. I mean, once again, I can't believe I'm saying this. I agree with Erica. Like, she already apologized. She's at a tough time in her life right now. Can you just give her a little bit of slack? I mean, I'm not saying you have to let her get away with murder. Just give her a little bit of slack. Garcelle said, like in the confessional, she says that she feels like Kyle invited them to lunch just to like smooth things over in a smaller group. Like, smooth things over in a smaller group, and these are the people that she thinks it would be easier with, like her and Sutton and Erica. I mean, it, as opposed to with Bose and Dorit in there. A smaller group to work with would be easier for her to just like kind of patch things up. Sutton, however, Sutton thinks Kyle is afraid that this is going to be brought up at Garcelle's. And she wants to make sure that right now she has her ducks in a row. She has her allies. And she was like, well, she'll definitely have Erica, but not me and not Garcelle. So all the ladies show up to Kyle's the next day. I guess they're gonna show up at Kyle's, and then they're all going to just go out to Garcelle's beach house because it's a little bit of a drive. So they all show up. Bose shows up, and she was maybe expecting I'm sorry for the way I acted. I'm sorry that I just ran out, in my robe and I caused such a commotion. She didn't apologize. I'm thinking that might come up later on in the season. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you, listen, I said this from the beginning. I wouldn't tell Dorit how to raise her kids. However, them not telling their kids, they were eventually going to hear about it. It's not like it was back in the day. We now have social media. So you knew that this was going to happen at some point, and it did. Because Dorit and Jagger were out walking the dog, and he had asked her, are you and Daddy divorced? And she was like, what are you talking about? He's like, he saw the Instagram post. He saw something posted on Instagram about the separation, and his only question was, are you and Daddy going to be friends? And she was like, I hope we are. Now listen, this was a point where this is something very, very important and very personal to Dorit. So then here comes Sutton. Like, okay, speaking of best friends, I just want to let y'all know, we really should get going because it takes a long time to get to Garcelle's. Sutton, read the room. Okay, I'm going to say, if somebody would do this to her, she wouldn't like it. She would hate it. She would say the person has terrible manners, but then she does it. It's not kind of hypocritical. It's her being very hypocritical. I mean, she was just hammering on and on about Kyle being held to a different standard whenever she ran out of Bose's soiree. So you're doing the same thing. I thought that was rude. I thought that was very rude. So the ladies get to Garcelle's beach house. I think it's beautiful. She did all of the work. I think it is absolutely beautiful without it being like super grandiose and like ridiculous. I thought she did a fantastic job. So they get there, and Garcelle has a little loungewear for them to put on. I think that would be perfect. And then doesn't Jennifer Tilly show? Jennifer Tilly shows up with like the best present. She shows up with a Dolce and Gabbana toaster that matched Garcelle's outfit perfectly. Who knew that Dolce and Gabbana made toasters? I think somebody said it's like $700. I would never make toast in it. Are you kidding me? It would be just a statement piece. I would never. Crumbs would never get in it, which is terrible because I love toast. So they go to the bar, they go to the beach, have this gorgeous setup. They have like a table for dinner. They have all these couches. They have a bar. Oh, it's beautiful. So Kyle and Dorit go and talk by themselves, which is how it should be, away from everybody. So Dorit's questions are, did you consider us to be good friends? And do you want to salvage this friendship? And Kyle says, I did consider us good friends, and I do want to salvage it. So does Dorit. So Dorit says, when you said that you never repeat what PK says, when you said you never repeat to PK that you never repeat what he says, I feel like that's your way of making him feel like he could talk and you wouldn't tell me what he says. Kyle was like, well, that was really my way of being like, hey, I'm your friend and I'm a safe place if you want to talk. She's like, he has a ton of other friends. He probably wouldn't come to me, but I want to be that safe place. So the real bottom line is, Dorit wants to know, are you loyal to me or are you loyal to him? Because if you're girl's girl and you're loyal to me and he says something, and if we happen to be in the middle of a divorce and he says something about me, I hope you would tell me. And off camera, I mean, in confessional, she was like, because once again, I mean, you claim you're a girl's girl. How about you be a girl's girl? And she had said, yes, I would. So she basically was saying, my loyalty is to you. In the confessional, she's like, it's going to be hard not to have that friendship with PK, but she would much rather be in a good place with Dorit. And I have to tell you, I was so surprised that did not end up in yelling and screaming. Maybe they can make it through the other side as friends. The reason why it did work is because it was just them and it was nobody else trying to get in there and cause more fireworks. That's exactly what needed to happen. So they ended up the night playing a game. And this time the questions were not bad. Like, they weren't questions to cause drama. Like, one of the questions was, would you sleep with someone for $20 million? And Garcelle said, I already have it. I did it for less. And we find out Erica has never been in love. And Jennifer Tilly loves her man. And she was in love with her husband also. And Bose falls in love very easily. So they sit down, they have dinner, and then they have these lanterns, these paper lanterns that they're going to make a wish on. But it's so windy that these things just end up blowing away, and people have to chase them down the beach. That was pretty funny. But then there was a dead bird. Then they're like, somebody was like, it's a dead bird. And then they all run away, as opposed to like screaming, that's disgusting, that's disgusting, that's disgusting. So I thought it ended on a great note. Next week, oh my gosh. It looks like, I don't know if it's next week but this was mid-season. So they're showing what's going to be happening on the rest of the season. but it looks like Dorit and Sutton get into it again. It looks like Erica gets in with it with someone, probably Sutton. It looks like there's a boat ride and Satan is on board. And is PK asking for a divorce before he has to give half his money to her? I don't know. So listen, in the comments, if you watched, let me know what you thought. And if nobody told you yet today, listen, you are loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world so it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. Be aware of your surroundings. Be smart and safe. Please hydrate. Hydrate often with water, hydrate often with water right there. Not all of those. How many are in there? 12. Well, I'm not going to drink all this right now. And if you're in a dangerous situation, please know that Dolly and I are sending our love, thoughts, prayers, and all the positive energy that you need to make it through. Love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Probably. Yeah. Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye, guys.